Hello everyone, hope you're having a good day at home. Stay safe, stay dry. I am sending you this video so that you have something to work on at home today. So today isn't a complete washout to do for what we were going to do in class today. So I'm going to do a quick little video. You can follow along. If you need to pause it or rewind it, it makes it super easy. You can go at your own pace. So I'm going to show you just a couple of things. And so the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is when you get into your Scratch project. So if you log into Scratch, and remember, if you go up to your name over here and click on My Stuff, you're then going to see your projects right here. So you should see your project right there. If you click on See Inside, that's going to take you to it. And then here's our workspace right here. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is the other day we created our start page yesterday, and time flies. Click the start button, we created that, and we got to here and we made our maze and we made our ball move around. Well, the problem is that our maze doesn't work. So a maze isn't a whole lot of good or fun if the ball can go outside of the maze. So here's the start and here's the finish, and he just goes right to the finish. Okay, that is the most boring game of all time. So we need to make it a little harder than that. So I need to make these black lines in this maze actually do something. All right, so here's how we do that. You're going to come down here and you're going to click on your ball, your sprite, all right? That is the character in your game. So I'm going to click on him and I'm going to add one piece of script right at the bottom of where this if-then statement is right there, all right? And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come up and I'm going to grab the exact same if-then statement from the control part of where my scripts are. And I'm going to stick that right in there, if then. And then I want it to sense the black line. So I'm going to go into this section right here called Sensing. And I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to grab the one that says Touching Color. Now you see that that says pink right now. Well, I don't care about that. I'm going to plop it in there anyway because now we can change it. Here's the easy way to change it. All I have to do is click on this color right here. So if I click on this color, watch what happens. It turns into a hand. And now if I take this hand, wherever the hand goes over, it changes that color in there to the hand. So I'm going to go right on top of this black line right over here, and I'm going to click on that black line and set the color as the color of the black line that my maze is. So now it's saying if the ball is touching the color black, then I'm going to want it to go back to start. Well, where is start? Start's right here where we told it to go to when it switches to that level. So this is going to be really easy. All I have to do is go back right to here, and if I hold on Control and I click, it's going to bring up my extra window. So Control click, and I'm going to say duplicate, and I'm going to get rid of show and just grab this and throw this over here. So to throw something away, you just put it over there and let go. And I'm going to take this now and stick it right in between there. And so now it says if it's touching black, then go to this space. So I'm going to start my game all over because I like to start games over from the beginning just to make sure nothing glitches something up. So I'm going to click stop right here. I'm going to press play and click this button to start. So I click right there. It takes us to this board. Now watch what happens if I touch the black line. Oh, it takes me right back to start. If I try to go down or I try to go up, it takes me back to start. So now to get to the end, I actually have to, whoa, this is getting a little tricky here. I may have made my game a little too hard. Uh-oh. There we go. I go down. Can I squeeze through there? Yes. Oh! Man, this game is tough. All right. Right there. And I come across. Ta-da! And I made it. Okay. But you just saw right there. When I made it to the end, nothing happened. Well, we have to fix that. So that's the next thing I'm going to show you to do. I'm going to go and touch the black line and take it back to start. This starting point is important. You're going to want to hit the black line and take the ball back to there when you do this next part because every single board needs to start from the exact same spot. And the reason being is because this says that for the whole entire game, forever, if you touch the maze, it's going to take you back to the start. So unless we wanted to get it into some other different levels and make it more complicated, we're going to just keep it like this. So every maze, every board is going to start from the same spot. So here's what we're going to do now. We got to make the next board because we have to make it go to the next board. So here's what we're going to do. we are going to come over here to stage over here, and I'm going to click on that. And so when I click on that, I'm going to come back here and click on backdrops. And now, oh, I already started creating one. So you're going to click on the brush, and that's going to create a new board. And then what you're going to do is, let me just erase this really fast. Remember, if I click on erase and I move this all the way over here, I can do this. You can also click on clear. So if I can click clear, boom, the whole thing's gone. So I'm going to now create a new board, and I'm going to kind of test this as I go along. So if I put in the first line and I let go, I can see right away if it's in the right spot. So now I can just come down a little bit below it, and let's see if that's in the right spot. There we go. So I know that my maze is good. So now I can just continue on, and I'm going to make this a little bit harder than the last one by just coming down and going here and going here. I'll bring this down to here. Ta-da. And then I'll come across to there. There we go. And then I'm going to come down to here. Now, you don't have to have it finish at the same spot. So I'm just going to have mine finish right down here, just like that. But I'm going to add something now to this board, and then I'm going to go back to the previous level and add something to that. We need something to tell it the game is over for that board and we're moving to the next level. So I'm going to pick a color. I like bright colors because they're easy to see. And all I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to click on the square and right here, and I'm just going to put in a nice little square right here, just like that. Ta-da! And now I'm going to go back to the level behind it, and I'm going to put in that same red square, so I don't even have to change anything. I already have it ready to go. I'm going to put in another, oh, maybe I don't have it ready to go. I'm going to undo that. This arrow right here is undo. So I have to click on the square. That's there. And I'm going to put a little red box right here as well. So now that red box is going to represent the finish line for each level. And so now we're going to add some more script to this to tell it to sense that red line and to go to the next level. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to go back to ball, and I'm going to click on ball right here. Now remember, if I'm going too fast, you have the power to pause me and tell me to be quiet and just wait. And you can even rewind me and have me do it over and over and over again. So don't worry. This is the last thing I'm going to tell you how to do. So you got plenty to work with, I think, today. So we're going to click on the ball, and I'm going to come up to scripts right here. And now we're going to add another script into here. And here's what it's going to say. All right. There's going to be one more if-then statement in here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to control, and we're going to put an if-then statement right in here. And we're going to grab another touching. Okay. So there's two ways to do this. I could hold down control and click on that and say duplicate and get that one and just stick it in there. Or if I didn't want to do that, I could go back and find it up in here as well, sensing. So again, how do I change this color? I click on it and I get the little hand, and I'm going to come over here and click on this red. And so you see now this one says red. So now we're going to say if it's touching the color red, then here's what we're going to say now. We're going to go to looks, and we're going to say if it touches the color red, we're going to tell it to switch the backdrop, not to level 2, but to the next backdrop. So if I click on this arrow right here, you can see that I have right there next backdrop. That's the one we're going to pick because this will then work for every single board. So when it touches red, it's going to switch to the next backdrop. And then what do we want to happen? We want the ball to go back to the starting position. So we're going to need this one all over again. So I can come and put my mouse right on here, and I can hold control down and click and say duplicate, and I'm going to, whoops, I stuck it in the wrong spot. I'm going to stick it right in there. And so it's going to touch as red, it's going to switch to the next backdrop and go back to the starting point. So let's test this to see if this works. I'm going to press stop. I'm going to press the green flag to start my game. Click this button to start. I start the game. All right, I'm going to see if I can get through this. Ooh, squeeze by, squeeze by. Yeah, one more touch. There we go. And watch, if I touch this, there we go. I touch the red and it takes me to the next level. And let's see if I can get by this level. I'm cruising, I'm cruising. And if I touch this, it's going to probably take me back to the start screen because I don't have a next level. So let's see if that happens. Yep. Because if we go over here and we look at our next backdrop, Well, once it gets here, it goes back to the start. So now you can see if you want to just start adding mazes. So if you want to do a lot of work today without having to do a lot of script, come in here and start adding new backdrops. Now I'm going to make my next maze. You make it harder. Then you create another one. And every one you're going to add a little red block just like that, or whatever color you want. But it has to be the same color. Add that little red block at the end, and that will signify the finish. All right. So that's it for today. A quick synopsis. For the scripts, we added 2 scripts to the ball. We added if touching the color of the maze, then it's going to go back to start. That sets a boundary that actually works. And then we said if touching the color of your finish point, it's going to switch the backdrop to the next backdrop and also take you back to start because it's going to start the next board. And then the last thing we did is over here in our backdrops, our stages, we went to backdrops right here and we added a third backdrop with a red block as the finish line. We then added a red block to our very first level, and now you can continue on making as many mazes as you want today. So that's what we're going to do today, and I hope you get a chance to work on this. If you don't, we will go over it tomorrow. So enjoy your day off, stay warm, stay safe, stay dry, and I will see you tomorrow.